South Africa's real deadliest animals. This is from experience and not hype. When people talk about South Africa's deadliest animals, they often lump the whole continent together. But South Africa has its own realities and risks, and I've lived them. I spent years running a Big Five game lodge, working directly with wildlife and the people who live alongside it. So this isn't just based on internet rankings, it's based on what actually matters here in South Africa. So what makes an animal dangerous in South Africa? In South Africa, danger isn't just about aggression. It's about proximity, how close you are. It's about unpredictability and the access to treatment. It's about what people encounter in their daily lives. Let's delve into the real list, specific to South Africa. Here's the reality based on my field experience and the patterns I've seen firsthand. These figures are generally based on local data and give us a good list of the top 7 deadliest animals in South Africa. Let's step right into it. Crocodiles at number 7 in the list, with no more than 2 fatalities per year. Our crocodile numbers are relatively low because most are now confined to protected areas like the Kruger National Park. But in those areas, they're still apex predators, with patience that can last hours. Moving on to number 6, we have the dangers of elephants. Fatal encounters may occur in reserves or their bordering communities. Elephants are extremely powerful and most unpredictable when stressed. Estimated deaths due to elephants are around 3 to 10 per year. Elephants are incredible, I just love them. But they're most dangerous when you can't predict or determine their behavior. A bull in must, a mother with calves, or a stressed herd can turn from calm to charging in seconds. They flip vehicles over when they feel threatened. The mistake people make is thinking size equals slow. Elephants can run at 40 kilometers per hour. Now, dogs at number 5 might surprise you, but this is the reality. Rabies is still a problem in South Africa, especially in the rural areas where vaccination programs have gaps. Once rabies symptoms appear, it's almost 100% fatal. When having to deal with potentially rabid animals, the protocol is always the same. Always take it seriously, get medical attention immediately. Most people don't realize that any mammal bite should be treated as a potential rabies risk. Now, coming in at number 4 are bees or wasp swarms, believe it or not. It has been recorded by Statistics South Africa that just over 100 people had lost their lives during the period 2001 to 2011. That's about 10 deaths per year, rare but deadly in specific cases and often overlooked as they can be fatal. African bees are naturally more aggressive than their European cousins. Most deaths aren't from the venom itself, but from severe allergic reactions. I've seen guests go from fine to medical emergency in minutes after disturbing a hive. The key is knowing that even if you've never been allergic before, multiple stings can trigger a reaction in anyone. The third most dangerous animal on our South African list comes in at number 3 and is the hippopotamus. Yes, that huge, cuddly looking thing. An estimated fatality count of between 10 and 30 makes them slightly more dangerous than elephants. People see hippos and think, cute, fat waterhorse. One of my rangers once found a crocodile that had been practically bitten in half by a hippo. The mother had a calf and the croc got too close in one of our dams. When you see what those jaws can do to a crocodile, you understand why they're so feared. They can run at 30 kilometers per hour on land, faster than most people can sprint. The dangerous moments are dusk and dawn when they come out to graze. Get between a hippo and water, and you've made a potentially fatal mistake. The second most deaths due to animals in South Africa is caused by snakes, with a research-based 14 to 29 fatalities per year. Puff adders, cobras, boomslangs, black mambas, Mozambique spitting cobras are mostly the guilty parties. I've seen firsthand how lightning fast a puff adder can strike. Thankfully, no one was actually bitten in the incidents I witnessed, but you realize immediately how deadly the situation could become. These snakes, the puff adders, cause about 60% of our serious bites because they're everywhere and they don't move when you approach. They just lie there until you step on them. Then what happens? You're bitten. The real tragedy is how many deaths could be prevented. Someone gets bitten in a remote area, then they try traditional remedies first, or it takes hours to reach a hospital with antivenom. Time is everything with snake bites. Just remember that time is everything. Now, the most deadly animal in South Africa at number 1 in our list is also the smallest, the Anopheles mosquito, with an estimated annual death rate of between 50 to 100. We must bear in mind that although they are regional, they are of concern. Now here's something most people don't realize about South Africa. We're actually on the verge of eliminating malaria deaths entirely. Unlike much of the continent, where malaria kills hundreds of thousands, South Africa has gotten it down to a few hundred deaths annually. Most of the cases are now actually imported. Those are people traveling from our neighboring countries. The real risk areas are up north in Limpopo, parts of Mpumalanga, and northern KwaZulu-Natal, and mainly during our hot, wet months from October to May. One thing you'll notice is that lions, leopards, and rhinos aren't on this list. Not because they aren't dangerous, but because actual fatal encounters are rare and usually involve extreme circumstances. I've watched elephants shift from calm to chaos in seconds. I've had to explain to guests why hippos are far more dangerous than they look. These experiences shape how I think about real wildlife safety. These aren't just statistics, they're stories, and they deserve to be told with accuracy and respect. In South Africa, wildlife education isn't just about fascination, it's about safety. It's about knowing what to look out for and how to respond. Whether you're a tourist, a ranger, or someone living near an area inhabited by wild animals, a knowledge of their dangers and behavior can ensure your safety. This is part 2 of a broader conversation. If you missed my Africa-wide breakdown, go and check it out. And if you want to hear more about the animals I've worked with, the systems we built, and the legacy we're shaping, please let me know in the comments. Wildlife education should be rooted in truth, not in the thumbnails you see. Thanks for listening. Let's keep the conversation honest, respectful, and real. Thank you. See you again.